Welcome back, nerds. I'm Tyler. I've got a really short video for you this time. As you saw in my previous video, I built this bench in this garage that I didn't have anything in. I installed these lights up here because I also don't have very good lighting. These are 2-foot long linkable LEDs, and I was so impressed with them that I bought the 4-foot versions to fill the garage with. The cool thing is, they only cost about 60 bucks, which gave me 8 of them, and this installation should only take about 30 minutes, nice and short. Let's get started.
Alright, so here's my previous garage lighting setup. As you can tell, it's really poor. I had a 60 watt light bulb in there, and I ended up replacing it with one of these units. All you have to do is unscrew the 60 watt and screw this one in its place, right in the socket. I was really impressed with the amount of light that it put off. It lit everything up really well. The only thing I didn't like about it was for shooting videos, it cast really harsh shadows. So I ended up buying these guys, and they produce really soft light. They're advertised as 4 feet, but they're about 46 inches. They come with 46-inch connectors. And if you need longer than that, they make longer ones that you can order separately. A switched power cable, adapters, that way you can wire directly to the switch, as well as the mounting brackets and hardware. I also got off of Amazon this little socket outlet adapter that I could plug the cables into, and that way when I run my switch, it'll turn the lights on. To get the party started, measure the width of your space, take that number and divide it by 3, and that's the distance you're going to want to inset your lights from the wall. So for me, my space is 18 feet, and my inset is 6 feet. Make your mark, make sure and high five Bob. And I'm going to be putting some screws in here, so I wanted to make sure I'm not going to hit any power. I'm using my stud finder just to double check. It's not likely, but I just want to make sure. I put a screw in here, and I put a screw in on the exact opposite side behind me. And I'm going to be tying a string here, and it's a lot easier to prepare the knot before you get up to the screw, rather than trying to fuss with this up next to the ceiling. But after I tie it on this side, I'm going to tie it on the other side, and I give it a couple of extra wraps around just to hold it tight. And as you can see here, the string creates a nice straight guide so you can screw in your brackets for the lights. I plugged the power cable in and stretched it out to see where I can start mounting my lights at. I ran it out to the string and I made a mark. You'll notice I'm using a level, and that's not for any purpose other than that it's 24 inches, which is the distance that you're going to want to space your brackets out. I went through, made all my marks, and then came back and screwed in all of my brackets right next to the string. I mounted the lights up. Note here, make sure that the brackets are actually tight enough. Some of them were a little loose for me, and one of my lights actually fell later on. So just squeeze them tight and they should work. And voila, you've got good light in your garage. I didn't really like the cables hanging down, so I just stapled them up to the ceiling. There might be a better solution for this, but this works for me. It is a huge improvement having these lights in here. I'm really happy with them.
And that's it, you guys. Easier than you thought, wasn't it? I think installation for me took about 25 minutes. Now, I wanted to give you my impression really quick on these lights. First off, I couldn't be happier. They check a lot of boxes for me. They were cheap, they're bright, they don't buzz or hum, they don't flicker, they don't put off a lot of heat, and they're sturdier than you think. When you get them out of the package, it's gonna feel really lightweight and cheap, but I dropped one from 9 feet and it hit the concrete floor, and when I picked it up and put it in and plugged it back in, it worked perfectly, so that's a plus for me. Now, if you don't have room or you're not looking to install something like that, I still highly recommend this guy. I just don't use this because of the quality of light it produces for video. It casts really harsh shadows, and that's not as nice. But if you're not worried about that, or you have like a smaller shop, this is, again, a fantastic option, and it produces quite a bit of light. Let's take a look at the tool VIP section. Now, this was a really easy project and there weren't many tools involved, so the drill was a lot of help, obviously, but I'm gonna give this one to string. As you saw in the video, I used this string to create a straight line. It was a ton of help doing that. I use this to fasten things and sometimes on-the-fly measurements. So if you don't have some, it seems silly, but get it, it's a lot of help. If you're still watching though, I wanted to thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope this helped you somehow. If it did, please drop a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see some more, and share if you know someone who has a dark, dirty garage like I did. I'll see you guys next time.